Once upon a time, there was a little boy called Howard who loved writing stories.
Little Howard dreamed of being a writer, and so he sat and wrote every night. But everything he wrote was fucking shite, yeah. Wubba-dubba-doo, wubba-dubba-doo. Worst writer in the world, worst writer in the world, worst writer in the world, worst writer in the world. He's a stupid, suck-ass, rubbish writer.
Hello and welcome to the worst writer in the world. Howard, you've given me a thing.
Yep.
You've given me a thing to read. Another thing that you found, just like, I just found another thing that I wrote in the past, because there is no end to your bucket of writing. Mm-hmm. The thing is, the name, the file name is 1st of July 2013 Morn.
That is when I wrote it.
So this is more than 10 years ago.
Yes. When I was trying to be a diligent writer. So I was trying to write every day, following the rules of like, wake up, immediately do writing before you do anything else, and then before you go to bed, write some more. Which is how George Spooner was written.
Right. So it's just about how hungry and miserable you are first
Probably,
thing in the morning. God, I wish I'd had a cup of coffee for 500 words. So 2013, more than 10 years ago, if you go by numbers, or if you go by how it feels, about 20 minutes ago that you wrote this.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you remember anything about it? Do you know anything about it, or is it all just going to be a complete surprise for you?
No, I've no idea. I mean, like when I found it the other day, I saw it, but I've already forgotten what it said at that point.
Okay, well, it's 1,500 words, so it's a very short story. Mm-hmm. So it shouldn't take us too long to read it, I guess. But we will see. We're going to try and make a 20-part series.
I mean, you have like read things that I've done in Mr. Cotton's class, which are only 200 words long, and they've taken half an hour. So
yeah, well, I've got 2 or 3 episodes out of them. Yes, absolutely. I feel like King Pink, which was really 2 sides of an exercise book. That was 2 episodes, right?
Yeah.
It depends how distracted we get.
Depends whether you mispronounce the word barbarian as barbabian or not, really, doesn't it?
Yeah. Or if when he puts a t-shirt on, it turns into a sofa and 2 chairs.
Sweet, yeah. I mean, all we know about this is that it's a first and only draft that was done in the morning before I'd eaten any food. So
and never read again.
Never
remembered about. It was a writing exercise, I guess, not something you planned to do anything with. Just as you say, you were trying to follow writing advice.
Yeah, but I mean, if I was, let's hope it's just not offensive in any way. That's the only thing.
Well, I mean, I like the first line, which is, every year the old man grew sicklier and the dog grew fatter.
Yeah.
Pretty good first line.
Is that dog going to get shot? I hope so.
Yeah.
Or is that dog going to get betrayed?
Every year the old man grew sicklier and the dog grew deader. That's right. That is a better first line. Yeah. Now, to be fair, that is a Gret Binchley first line.
Yeah. I think what this man needs is his uncle needs to win the pools and invite him to come and get the money, but he needs to wait until there's only 5 minutes left to get it.
Yeah. Could you I've won the pools. Unexpectedly won the pools. And could you come to my house next door? Before December, before this December, 8 months in the future. And if you do, you can have half. But if you don't, I'm going to have spent it by then. So please, the earlier the better. Yeah. And okay, so I'll go round on December the 31st at 5 minutes to midnight
via the quicksand. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll take all my dogs with me and use them like stepping stones to get across the quicksand. What quicksand? Oh, I've just made some. I live next door to you on a street. Just what? No, I'm going the back way. What back way? I made it.
Yeah.
We're referencing the Howard Long story Betrayal (of a Dog), which if you haven't listened to, or if you haven't listened to recently, time to go and check it out again. I think it's a good one, right? Because everything we just said happens in it.
Yeah. Oh, so Skip, your wee funny thing.
Dying in that quicksand.
Said John, probably, to probably John.
Almost certainly John, yeah.
To his dog.
Unless he's in the future, in which case he might be called Johnson. Future John.
Future John.
That's my favourite thing about that story. So you still had to call him John, but you thought, well, no one's going to be called John in the future. How will that name evolve? John a lot. John a lot, definitely. All right. So every year, the old man grew sicklier and the dog grew fatter. This, as chance would have it, allowed them to keep the same pace as season by season the once agile man and lithe dog.
A hot dog. It's a very hot dog.
Yeah.
Look how
I
slim
don't
the
think
dog
I've
is.
ever heard a dog called lithe before. The dog was lithe. Lithe. Do you think lithe is used with animals ever? Maybe could you use it with a cat being lithe? Maybe. I don't know. Lithe feels a bit human.
I
And
mean,
like you say,
I don't usually use the word live with dog. I usually use the word dead with dog, not live.
yes, the once agile man and once alive dog. No, lithe.
Lithe, it means kind of like slim and sinewy and like athletic and like good.
It's athletic, isn't it?
Yeah,
like
kind of.
capable,
Agile,
flexible, right?
yeah.
I think. Shall we look it up? Let's look it
Yeah.
up and see if it gives us any useful collocations as well.
Live. Opposite of dog. I've just got it here in my dictionary. Thin, supple, and graceful.
Yeah, I've got thin, supple, and graceful, but it notice especially of a person's body. That's the important thing there, isn't it?
Or especially of a dog's body in this case. It's a graceful dog.
Yeah, so it's not exactly athletic then, is it? We're a little bit wrong there. I mean, great, like it has that kind of movement in graceful, that suggestion, but it's maybe more of a dancer than an athlete.
It's a sexy dog.
It's a sexy dancing dog.
Yeah.
I think that's what we've learned, that this dog is a sexy dancer.
Yeah.
Row, row, row. Oh, stop dancing, Skip.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll have to throw you in that quicksand when we go to my uncle's house later, at the very last minute. All right, so
well done.
we've learned a lot. In the first 3 lines, we have learned a lot.
We've learned that
It's a fat but sexy dog, first of all.
We've also learned that we didn't know what the word live meant in 2024, and I didn't know what it meant in 2013. Otherwise, I wouldn't have described a dog as it, I suppose.
We've learned that you never knew what live meant.
Thought, damn you, I'll use that word anyway.
You used it anyway, as you have often done with words. For example, pinion.
Yeah.
Just go for it and hope.
Yeah.
The saucy dog. Is that appropriate? So the fact that the man was getting sicklier and the dog was getting fatter meant that as they walked, they kept the same pace.
Yeah.
Because the once agile man and sexy dancing dog,
Yeah.
who had marched by every morning, slowly transformed into a crooked hunchback. I hope that's the dog. Into a crooked hunchback, hobbling along with a waddling bag of dog on a string at his side. I mean, I like it. A waddling bag of dog. I'm not sure that it conjures up the image that you were hoping for, because what I'm picturing is an actual bag of dog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's too strong an image to work as a metaphor, I think, bag of dog, because it's such a clear picture in my mind that this old man's got a bag of dog.
Yeah, but the bag is made out of a duck.
Yeah, okay.
Because it's a walking bag that's just got a dog inside it.
No, fair enough. So, the once agile man and lithe dog who had marched by every morning slowly transformed into a crooked hunchback of Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Crooked hunchback of Amsterdam, hobbling along with a waddling duck of dog on a string,
on a
string at his side. Wow, this is the first paragraph and it's so complex already. Your brain is a fascinating and detailed place first thing in the morning.
Got a lot of words in it, I suppose. Yeah, when I wake up, because I haven't used any for 8 hours, so they're all just coming out.
Backed up. It's got a lot of words in it and a surprising number of ducks in there as well. Like more, I'd argue more than you need when you're writing a story about a man and a dog.
That's true. Yeah, fair enough.
The man, Horace,
Oh.
the man's called Horace, pretty good, had found the dog, Barnacle.
Wow.
They're called Horace and Barnacle. Those are some pretty amazing names. I like Barnacle the dog. That's a good name for a dog.
Yeah. Is a good name for a duck that's been turned into a bag with dog in it, though? Or is that? I suppose it is, actually, because ducks are
is.
underwater, aren't they? They've probably got barnacles on them.
Ducks are famously underwater and attached to boats.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Or in some ways, barnacle's a better word for a duck that's a bag with a dog with a dog in it. Because in some ways, isn't that a good description of a boat?
Yeah.
You know, a duck that's a bag with a dog in it. That is kind of a boat, right?
That's a boat.
If the boat has a dog in it.
Which most do, don't they?
Yeah, but they've all got a sea dog in it.
That's right. Yeah.
Right,
A salty
not an
sea
actual dog,
yeah.
but a salty sea dog, which is I think it must be the name of some kind of fish, right? Some kind of sea. I caught 8 salty sea dogs today. I mean, catfish is a word. That's a thing, right? And it's not a cat, so salty sea dog must be a.
No, it's when you pretend to be someone else online, isn't it? So salty sea dog is when you, I don't know,
when you're honest about who you are.
Yeah, maybe.
Online, when you're like, hello. My name's Rufus. Can I have £1 million of your pounds, please? And they're like, why? Because I want it.
Yeah.
Like, are you a prince or something? Do you need help? Are you like an attractive man proposing a date? Like, no, I'm actually quite an ugly old man who's poor, but I just like all your money, please. I'm salty sea dogging you. Look on the right side, could be catfishing. All right, no, I'm salty sea dogging you.
Yeah.
So that would be a really good term if anyone ever did that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the term, like when, for example, like charities campaign and they're like, look, these animals are unhappy, can you give us some money?
Yeah.
And you go like, yeah, I can.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been salty sea dogged by a charity.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, that's okay. Yeah, yes, it is. It's
One of
actually
those
quite a
famous
positive transaction.
charities that collects money for unhappy animals. my gerbil's been a bit down recently. Can you give us some money?
Not my gerbil, it's a charity. So it's his gerbil.
Yeah.
I'm collecting for John's gerbil.
Yeah, John's
over there. Future
John's.
John's gerbil, sir.
Yeah.
Because in the future, of course, they're not called gerbils anymore. John's and his dogs has not been looking too healthy either. Ever since we put it in that duck's bag.
Oh yeah.
We put it in that duck's bag. It's been looking like it's been waddling.
Yeah. Well, then it fell in the bigger log and it couldn't get out.
Yeah. Okay. So we've invented a really good term, and it is useful after all because it means. Maybe it's a good one to use for charity campaigners because they're still a thing, and like the term chugger's got very old, right?
Yeah.
So they can be called salty sea dogs, and you can be like, oh, I went to Farringdon Station yesterday. I had to avoid 18 salty sea dogs to get in there. It was a fucking nightmare. One of them caught hold of me, started trying to salty sea dog me.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I've not got any time to be salty sea dogged.
Yeah.
I haven't got time for your salty sea dogging. Bye.
That's the problem, isn't
He
it?
was like,
Because
don't you care about sad hamsters?
That's the problem.
Don't you care about sad hamsters? Come on, give us a fiver.
Yeah. No, the problem is the action of doing it is called salty sea dogging, which probably means something quite different to a lot of people in car parks around England.
Oh, you're right. There's probably some sex thing because you're right. Dogging's already a thing, so they've probably expanded that out to salty sea dogging. And if they haven't, people are gonna think they have, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, everyone start using it to mean charity campaigning, and then before the dirty
people,
get hold
the
of it.
dirty ones,
the
yeah.
dirty people, the kinky people. All right, so the man, Horace, had found the dog, Barnacle, some 13 years ago on a fishing trip. So, yeah, he did.
He did find it in the water.
That's why, because he
did find it stuck to the bottom of a boat.
Yeah.
And he fished it out, right?
Yeah, I think that's what it means, right? Yes, he did. You know, he did. This is what's happening.
Wow.
Whereas usual, I think that's to say usually, whereas usually Horace had failed to get a single bite, but on this occasion, seeing the writhing bag float by, did finally manage to catch something.
Wait, so
That
it is a
sentence all
bag?
over the place.
So it is a bag then?
Well, this is
it's
you're
a
contradicting
bag
yourself
of
very
dog.
quickly
Look,
here.
somebody decided somebody put a dog in a. It's about bagging and it's about bagging streaming a dog basically.
Oh shit! It is, and he never took him out.
Never took him out.
Never took him out.
He thought it was its shell or something. It was like I found this weird fish thing in there with legs.
Yeah, I call it a salty sea bag dog. What? It's very, very complicated. I think it's just a dog in a bag.
It's got
Have you tried
red
taking the
and
bag
white
off?
stripy plastic skin. I don't know. It's very unusual. Shit, I can't believe he never took it out of the bag.
Yeah, no, I feel like you've contradicted, unless that's the case. Like, because earlier you said, once upon a time, it was a once agile man and a lithe dog who slowly transformed into a crooked hunchback and a dog in a bag. Right?
Yeah.
But then you're like, when he first found the dog 13 years ago, the dog was in a bag.
Yeah.
Right? Seeing the writhing bag float by, did finally manage to catch something. So I'm not sure. So I think that the only way to read that is that he actually is a dog in a bag. The thing that's changed is that now he waddles, but he's always been in a bag. The river was fast and deep, and Horace, who had been sat there 5 in the morning. Do you think that should say since 5 in the morning? 'Cause
I
it
do.
says 5 in the morning.
That's what I think.
I think it must be since, who had been sat there since 5 in the morning, was
Unless
beginning to
it's
drift
supposed to
off into
say
dreams.
6 cents in the morning. That's another option.
All right, I'll go with that one. The river was fast and deep, and Horace, who had been sat there 6 since in the morning, was beginning to drift off into dreams of prize-winning salmon.
Darts, I'm thinking. I think
Darts,
this
yeah,
is
all
salmon that have been on bullseye and got the 3-piece suite.
The river was fast and deep, and Horace, who had been sat there 5 in the morning, was beginning to drift off into dreams of prize-winning salmon, and was just about to receive a large golden cup for his unbeatable skills when the fish he had caught looked him in the eye and gave him a little yelp.
Oh.
Horace's eyes snapped blearily open. A yelp came again, nearer now. Oh, it's not the fish that's yelping.
No, that was a dream.
Oh, okay.
He started nodding off, and he was dreaming about it. But then the dogs,
Yeah, of
the
course.
actual sound of a dog in danger, a sexy dog probably, his lithe, like handsome dog.
Horace's eyes snapped blearily open. A yelp came again, nearer now. He looked around the rocky bank as the unmistakable bark and howl of a distressed dog drew close. This is a story about a man and his dog. This is a portrayal of a dog again, isn't it, essentially?
I've used some long words and tried to make it a bit like wordy and everything, but it does still reads like something I wrote when I was 13. Like, he starts falling asleep and dreaming about a salmon. Whatever.
It's got a maturity of style, but not necessarily of content.
Yeah.
The content is the
Yeah.
same, but it's expressed much better now.
Yeah.
Maybe this is the follow-up. Maybe this is what happened to Skip, because Skip went in a marsh and sank, and then came up. Maybe he managed to maybe this is him being rescued.
Yeah.
Then up the river, the bag raced into view. So you're gonna stick with that calling it a bag thing. Travelling with great speed on the current.
It's just a typo, I got the G right. It's just the other 2 letters I keep getting wrong, Are you a bag person or a cat person? What? I'm a what? Do you like bags or cats?
It's a straightforward question. If I offered you a bag or a cat, which one would you want?
I like cats. I find bags a bit too needy. Oh, they're a bit needy bags. What are you talking about? Needy bags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's got smelly. You've got to wash
Well, wash
bags
the bag,
all the
yeah.
time, haven't you?
Yeah.
But, cats do it themselves. So I'll have a cat, please. And also, most bags, I don't find I don't find they can hold that much shopping. I get a plastic bag from the supermarket. They could charge me 30p now, and it breaks immediately. But a cat... I can put a lot of shopping in that cat.
Yeah, it's surprising how many biscuits I can get inside my cat.
I mean, it's true. I put an enormous amount of my shopping inside my
Yeah.
cats. I mean, admittedly, it's all cat food and cat treats, but that is still a big part of my shopping.
And they don't get any bigger. It's almost as if cats are bigger on the inside than they
They
are
do.
on the out.
No, they do. My cats do get bigger.
Oh, yeah.
And they're both on a diet.
Fair enough. But yeah, it's probably just autocorrect. We know what my autocorrect's like. It's like my man was,
Overly enthusiastic.
A man was out taking his dog for a walk. I think you meant to say bag, didn't you, Howard? You meant to say bag?
Yeah.
Taking his bag.
Did
for
you
a
mean
walk?
a man was out taking his bag for a walk?
No, why would you think that?
To be fair, I mean, if you think of it from a kind of purely logical, non-conscious, algorithm point of view, how more likely is it that a man takes a bag for a walk than a dog, right? Like, for example, me, almost every time I go out for a walk, I've got a bag with me.
That's true.
Taking my bag for a walk, but dog, never.
And
even people, I don't have a dog. It's not surprising, but even people who do have dogs, maybe they have their bag with them when they take the dog, and also when they don't. So,
true.
Statistically,
That's a very fair point.
Statistically, you're more likely to take a bag for a walk than a dog.
Yeah.
And the computer knows that.
Yeah.
And says, Howard, have you thought about changing this word to bag? Oh, I'll do it for you. Took his bag for a walk.
Yeah.
And his shoes and his trousers.
Yeah.
And his keys.
AI is just the new Mr. Cotton, kind of going like, no, let's not put that.
Yeah. Well, this made-up planet, you've said. Do you mean Earth? Did you mean Earth? No, it's a made-up planet. Then up the river, the bag raced into view, travelling with great speed on the current, so it's like a hyper bag. Horace spotted it immediately. It was a bright orange bag with large handles flapping about like ears. You're really, really leaning into this metaphor. It was a bright orange bag with large handles flapping about like ears. Oh, hang on. No, a sports logo emblazoned on its side. It is a bag.
Yeah, of course it's a bag.
What the fuck is going on
I
here?
told you there's a dog in a bag.
Is the dog actually in a bag? Then you should not have called it a bag in the first paragraph. I'm going to say that has confused me.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, as I was making it up as I went along, and I wrote that, and then that's probably what made me think, oh,
Ooh, what if it was in a bag?
yeah, it's just still in the bag. He never took it out of the fucking bag.
Yeah, I know. I think we have to. It's a story about you that might turn out to be the case. Right? that might actually be the case. All right, so a sports logo emblazoned upon its side. It's an actual bag. His initial thought that somebody must have dropped it passed almost instantaneously as he saw the very sizable shape of the bag bulge. No, it is a verb. I was right first time. Almost instantaneously as he saw the very sizable shape of the bag bulge and shift and realised where the source of the barking was coming from. I mean, I feel like there should be a from there.
Nah.
Whatevs.
I mean, we know what it means, where the sound of the barking's coming.
But the bag was right over the other side of the river.
Oh.
And even in waders, it was too deep and too risky to venture in.
Oh, no.
The bag sailed past. Thinking quickly, Horace grabbed his rod and began to run alongside the riverbank, leaping over rocks and tree roots to keep up with the endangered beast. Does he know there's a dog in it?
Just say
He saw it bulge and shift.
The endangered bag. I'm gonna save the bag. It's the bag he wants. Once he gets it, he's going to take that dog out, throw it straight back in the river.
Chuck it back in. Right, now I've got something to put my fish in.
Right, I'm going to take this bag for a walk.
Dog. Like, not only are you drowning me, but you could have taken me for a walk.
Yeah.
I mean, you literally wanted something to take for a walk, and you chose the bag. Wow.
Because you don't have to pick up a bag's shit, do you? That's the benefit of having a bag.
Yeah. If you take a bag for a walk, you don't need to take extra little bags
Yeah.
that you then put the bag shit in and hang on a tree for some reason.
That's true. That's right. And autocorrect knows that as well, because anyone that does take a dog for a walk has got probably 30 bags in their pocket.
True, yeah. They take one dog and several bags for a walk. Autocorrect is being proved very right here. So next time you say, I'm going to take my dog for a walk, correct yourself and say, I'm going to take my bags for a walk.
The dog,
which is
yeah,
more correct.
Maybe the dog will go with you, but,
Yeah, oh yeah, the dog's coming. Me and the dog are going to take the bags for a walk.
Yeah, that's right. Save a lot. You could, you if you train your dog well enough, you can save a lot of time and just give it the bags and send it out, and then you don't have to go anywhere. Just the dog can take the bags for a walk.
Why am I doing this? This is fucking stupid. I spend hours every day taking my fucking bags for a walk. I've trained a dog to do it instead. Brilliant, nailed it.
Yeah.
Could you take my trousers and keys as well? I don't want to take them for a walk either. For some minutes it went on like this. Horace almost taking a spill on several occasions, hoping that the bag would catch on a clump rock. A clump rock? What's a clump rock?
It's a rock owned by Professor Clump from The Nutty Professor.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you had an answer for me. That is a satisfying and
Thank you.
believable answer. So, hoping that the bag would catch on a rock that was owned by the professor, by Professor Clump from The Nutty Professor. Is that correct?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, probably.
But it never did.
Oh,
Surprise.
That's a surprise.
He was hoping
Yeah.
that it would catch on a rock owned by
Yeah,
Professor
Professor
Clump from The Nutty Professor, but it never did.
Did.
What can you do? And Horace was forced to continue stumbling along until the riverbank turned into a man-made path. Oh, the riverbank turned into a man-made path, and he was able to jog along more easily. Okay, so we've got a bit of tarmacked bit.
Oh, right.
With his mind now no longer occupied simply with the act of not falling, Horace loosed a length of fishing line and, judging the direction of the wind, he ran on ahead of his target by quite a distance. 8 miles. And then was like, hang on, what am I doing here? And then cast out. The feathered hook curved through the air, splashed down in the river just shy of the fluorescent bag, which hurried on its way. It's a fluorescent bag now. It was just orange before, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Horace, continuing his run and looking red-faced and quite out of breath, reeled in the line as he ran. I tell you what, we're talking about how you've changed since you were in Mr. Cotton's class, right? We said that stylistically, yes, your ability with words has improved,
Yeah.
but content quite similar. But I am going to say one thing that has not changed is your punctuation, which is still incredibly confusing and makes it difficult to read. Horace, still keeping pace with the dog, tried again 2 more times to hook him, but to no avail.
Making me think more about it being a duck again now, because that's what you do. You play huck a duck. You don't play huck a dog, do you? That's,
You don't play hog a dog. You don't play hog a dog, you play huck a duck.
huck a duck.
Or if you're from Leicestershire, or many places north of Leicestershire, you play hook a duck.
Or if you're from Scotland, you play hookadooke.
Hook a duke.
That's definitely what they say there.
Famously.
Ooh, should we play
famously
hookadooke? Well,
Who wants a game of hook a duke? What are you talking about?
Hookadooke.
Hook a duke, because I'm from Scotland and we talk about dukes all the time. Oh, look at that duke saying quook. Famously.
Quick and duke.
Famously. I went to the park and fed the dukes with this bread. They all exploded. Yeah, it's a shame because they were saying quook and then they exploded. The curve in the river came and Horace was losing the race.
Oh, no.
His athletic run had descended into a shambolic amble.
Shit.
Wow, a shambolic amble would have to be a shambololic.
Yeah.
His Wellington boots were not designed for running, and having started to work their way down his legs, they were half hanging off his feet, giving him the appearance of disfigured flippers. His knees were aching, and his chest was heaving for want of breath. Horace knew he was going to fall moments before it happened. It had seemed inevitable, and when it came, he did not cry out for help. Rather, he handled it with as much grace as he could, given his current appearance, and as he dove headlong towards the water...
He went, I'm doing it on purpose! Yippee!
Don't help me! I'm trying to save a bag! What? Did he say he's trying to save a bag? Oh, yeah, probably leave him alone, leave him to it then.
He's got a lightning shot. If he wants to save bags, he should go to Dottersea Bags Home, shouldn't he? Should go to Dottersea Bags Home. Yeah? Hello.
Oh, yeah, he should go to Dottersea Bags Home. I'm glad you said that before I started speaking again, because I know you wouldn't have been listening at all when you came up with it.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm glad you got it out quite quickly.
you.
Anyway, we'll call this episode, because this hasn't got a title, so we'll call it Dottersea Bags Home, shall we?
Right. Beautiful.
Anyway, he handled it. He fell over, but he handled it with as much grace as he could, given his current appearance, and as he dove headlong towards the water, he managed to twist his body and miss a jutting rock, narrowly avoiding what could have been a serious injury. Well, he was in the water now. The dog was a little way ahead, and not much further lay the fall. Oh, God, is there a waterfall?
Yeah, of course there's a waterfall.
Where is he?
He's in Niagara Falls, right? And Lois Lane is there. She's just found out that Clark Kent is Superman. That's what's happening.
Okay. Oh, don't worry. Superman's kissed her memory away in his usual normal Superman powers. And apparently a lot of people saw that, so Superman's just going around snogging everyone.
Yeah.
Well, he was in the water now. His dog, the dog was a little way ahead, and not much further lay the fall. Miraculously, he had kept hold of his rod, and summoning the last of his energy, he cast one last time from the water. But I mean, okay, there's the fall. Is it really a waterfall? Because he's in waders. I know he's falling in the water is unpleasant, but it's like he can stand up, right? If he's casting, he's not swimming against the tide that's about to take him down a waterfall.
No, but maybe the dog's about to go. Maybe he's not going to get swept over. Just the dog's going to get swept over because the dog's not in waders. It's in a bag. I don't know whether you've noticed that yet. I think we should let everyone know. That dog in a bag.
Thanks for keeping us up on that. Yeah. In a sense, though, waders are bags, aren't they? So in some ways, like he's in a bag as well, or two bags.
I mean, at the end of the day, aren't we all in two bags? We're in a bag of flesh, and then we're in a bag of air.
And that is another way that you take your bag for a walk anytime you go for a walk. So again, more proof that autocorrect was right. But I mean, what is a bag? A bag is something with an open top, right? And a closed
Exploring
bottom.
the questions that matter here on Worst Writer in the World. What is a bag?
It's got an open top where you can put things in.
Yeah.
And it's got a closed bottom so they don't fall out.
Yeah.
And that's what waders are, right? Yeah. So waders are just a man bag.
I mean, there's different kinds of bags, aren't there? There's some don't have the pastry on top, do they? But you do. But it's still a bag, and then the fill-ins can be meat or they can be fruit, can't they? Oh, I'm getting confused. I'm confusing it with pies. Yeah.
You're confusing it with pies, yeah. Although, in a sense, isn't a pie just a bag?
Yeah.
Because again, it's got it's like a container with a closed bottom, so things don't fall out, and you put stuff in it. And then, like you say, some bags you can close.
Yeah.
The pie, and you have open top pies. That's fine if you really want it, but pie you can close your bag. When I make a pie, I like it closed. Squidge around the edge, so keep it properly closed. And you've got one pastry bag.
Well, I think we should write to the concise Oxford Dictionary and get them to redefine bag as something you can put stuff in. All right?
Something you can put stuff in and occasionally close, but not always.
So cupboards, they're bags,
absolutely.
Aren't they?
Cupboards are bags.
My mouth is a bag.
I was going to say mouth. Yeah, absolutely.
And therefore, a dog is a bag. So that's why
a dog is because
you can put things in.
So that is another way that if you take a dog for a walk, you're actually taking a bag for a walk because dogs are bags. Proof. So the main thesis of this episode is that anytime people go outside, they are taking their bag for a walk, and we have proved that in many ways.
This show's gone a long way from what it used to be, hasn't it? It's really kind of
got a lot more intelligent, got a lot more philosophical, right? Yeah. Used to be just messing about, doing silly voices and making stupid jokes and laughing a lot. But now we ask, like you say, the big questions and we prove our philosophical theories. Like everyone who goes outside is taking their bag for a walk, and they should start saying that instead of saying I'm going to work or I'm going, to the park. They should say I'm going to take my bags for a walk.
That's right.
And by that I include my trousers, my shoes. And my mouth. I include my mouth. Just taking my mouth for a walk. Okay. Can you take the dog with you? No, I can't take the fucking dog with me. I'll take my mouth for a walk. Okay. So hey Howard, you know how we have a Patreon?
I do, yes.
Where people can pay for extra stuff by us.
Yeah.
But also now they can get stuff for free if they want to, simply by signing up as a free member.
Brilliant.
And there's a bunch of different episodes that you could get your hands on right now. But you know what's going to happen? You're going to forget, right? That's what you're going to do. You're going to go, oh, that sounds like a good idea. And it's going to disappear out of your mind. So what I want you to do, listener, I want you to do it right now, okay? Ooh. Put your ears down. Stop listening. Put your ears down and get out your phone or whatever and sign up as a free member and listen to a lot of varied stuff by us that previously you had to pay for, but now it's available free. Pretty exciting stuff, hey?
Hooray!
And just go to patreon.com/manbycow/collections and look at the free members collection to find it all immediately.
Beautiful.
Oh, and actually, I've got one piece of advice. If anyone, and I notice this because I keep getting emails from Patreon. Well, we keep getting emails from Patreon. If you're planning to sign up to pay for us on Patreon, don't do it through the Apple iOS app because they will charge you an extra 30% on top of what Patreon charges. Yeah, and that will not go to us or Patreon. That'll go to Apple. So all you have to do is not pay through the app on Apple. That's all it is. If you pay through the website or anyone else, and you can still use the app afterwards, just don't pay through it, or you will get charged 30% extra, and that goes straight to John Apple. And to be honest, he's got enough money, so don't do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's just he's used the last of his energy to cast one last time. Luck stepped in at this point and afforded Horace an aim so precise it beggars belief. And should you wish to stop reading at this point, I would not blame you.
Why?
That sounds like Mr. Cotton's class, Howard, doesn't it?
Yeah, but why? I mean, what does that mean exactly?
That it was too lucky to be believable, I guess.
Oh, I see. Oh, I thought it meant... See, what I got from it was that, like, he's saved the Dob, so you... Dob? Yes, that's what I took from it, that he saved the Dob.
Do you mean Bab? Do you mean Bab?
Sorry,
No, I didn't mean Bab.
Yeah, I meant Bab. Yeah. No, that like he saved the dog, so it's a happy ending. So don't read any further because that dog's gonna die.
So as he kept his head above water, and so he's not wading. As he kept his head above water, so he's swimming and casting a fishing rod. To be fair, that is quite unbelievable. He is swimming, casting his line, and also catching a dog. It is quite unbelievable. As he kept his head above water and wound the line in, the hook found its way into the bag zipper.
Oh.
Realising, for the first time in months since he'd landed that 6-pound carp, that he had finally hooked something, Horace thrashed around with his spare arm for something to cling onto.
Why has he
That's nice that he's got.
Why has he got a spare arm? Just takes that with him as well.
Yeah, and he's holding it in his free hand.
Yeah.
It's like he's got the fishing rod in one hand and his spare arm in the other hand.
Yeah.
It's like, Horace, maybe you just use your hand to hold onto something rather than that fake arm you carry with you.
If he lets go, it's going to go over the fall, though, isn't it? And then he's never going to get his spare arm back again.
Anyway, Horace thrashed around with his spare arm for something to cling onto, coming very close to grabbing a low branch, but failing as he received a sudden and unwelcome mouthful of water and disappeared briefly under the surface.
Shit.
Horace came up, spluttering and gasping for air. He still had hold of the rod and could see the bag dancing. We knew that dog was a dancing dog.
Yeah.
It is a dancing dog. Could see the bag dancing up and down in a sexy way. Lithe dog in a sexy bag. No, you could see the bag dancing up and down several yards ahead. But there was nothing to cling to, and now, above the sounds of his own breathing and the running river, he could hear a low hiss like 100 radios tuned to static. Ooh. The waterfall was near.
Oh, no.
And between him and an inevitable death, there was one last chance. Wow, it's a serious waterfall. If he's inevitably going to die if he goes over this waterfall.
It's got crocodiles at the bottom.
Yeah. The waterfall was near, and between him and an inevitable death, there was one last chance. An old, rusty oil drum jutted out from the water, and it was fast approaching. Wow, so it's a floating drum.
What use is that going to be, though?
I guess he's going to get in it, because that's how people go over waterfalls, in, like, barrels and stuff.
Right, yeah.
Kicking with a final burst of energy, Horace manoeuvred himself into the centre of the river and presently was swept bang straight into the drum. He's going into the drum. He grabbed hold with his right hand, slicing the palm open on a sharp edge, and screamed with shock more than pain. At the same time, he managed to hook his legs around the thing so that he was straddling it. Okay, so he's not in it.
No, he's going to ride it.
Oh, okay. So when it says he was swept bang into the drum, it doesn't mean inside the drum, but like he hit the drum. Yeah. It's unfortunate that into can mean both those things.
That's true, yeah. It's not a really good time to start playing the drums, though, is it? What is he doing?
But, it's never a good time, is it, to start playing the drums? You might as well do it now. You're like, you know what? I've been making excuses for years. there's always a reason not to stop playing the drums. Right now, it's because I'm about to die at the bottom of a waterfall with a dog in a bag.
Shit.
But yesterday it was because I might upset my neighbours.
What he's doing is riding an oil can, right? That's what he's doing.
He's
right?
riding a big oil drum, and somehow that's gonna be less dangerous than just going over a waterfall without a massive bit of metal to like knock you out as you go over. I guess, but let's find out. So he managed to hook his legs around the thing, so he was straddling it, and suddenly he was no longer moving. Oh, okay. But being held against the side of the old drum by the force of the river and in delicate balance by his feet with which he was barely maintaining a grip. I don't understand what's going on.
So the barrel's not moving. The barrel's
Okay.
just stuck at the side of the river.
No,
And
it
he's
says,
like,
when it was fast approaching, it's because he's moving.
yeah.
That's what confused me. A rusty old drum jutted out from the water and it was fast approaching. I thought it was behind him and like moving, but I guess that doesn't really make sense with how rivers work. Like the drum's moving faster than he is for some reason, even though they're both being taken by the current.
Yeah.
I guess it makes more sense actually that the drum is not moving.
All right.
So he's not, good news, he's not planning to go over the falls sitting on a drum and think that that's going to be safer somehow. Holding a dog. Holding a dog in a bag.
I think he just thought it was going to be more fun. And when people describe the way he died, it's going to be more interesting if he did it riding a barrel holding a dog.
Yeah. Absolutely. He saw someone with a camera, he's like, well, fuck. I got to make this bigger. Yeah. He could feel the cut in his hand now and it was stinging. But he had much more pressing matters. Oh, yeah. So I better get me bandages out and start dealing with this. I'm in a river on a barrel, with a dog in a bag, but I think bandage time. It did not take a genius to assess his situation or to write about it.
It didn't take a genius, no.
He was, for the moment, safe from the fall, but this could only last so long.
Boy.
And unless somebody came along, then it seemed he was doomed. Oh. So I guess the barrel's somehow like in the middle of the river, not to one side, like, attached to something. It's just kind of magically stuck in the middle of the river. However, with no point in adopting a fatalistic attitude, Horace decided to proceed with the initial plan and worry about this predicament thereafter. What? Oh, because he hasn't reeled in the dog yet. Okay. So he's going to reel in the dog, and then he's going to worry about the fact that he's stuck on a magic barrel in the middle of a fast-flowing river. With great difficulty and not a little pain, Horace began to reel in the line, and slowly and surely the bag began to head back up the river to him. The dog weighed a hell of a lot, and Horace wondered if this situation were anything like the sharks his cousin Bert had caught back in the day.
What, he thinks, is a dog like a shark? Is that what he's asking?
Is reeling in a dog in a bag similar to catching sharks? The dog weighed a hell of a lot, and Horace wondered if this situation was anything like the sharks his cousin Bert had caught back in the day. Moving on. Just a little bit of detail.
Well, we've no proof there's a dog in there. We know it could be a shark in a bag, right?
Yeah, could be a shark.
That just barks, absolutely. A barking shark. I mean, it rhymes, doesn't it? It rhymes, so there could be a barking shark.
So it can't be a barking shark.
Yeah.
But as the bag drew close, it suddenly seemed to lodge.
Oh, no.
And, unknown to Horace, as he struggled harder to reel it in, the zipper began to unzip.
Oh, no.
And suddenly, from out of the bag, the head of a fully grown golden shark... No. And suddenly, from out of the bag, the head of a fully grown golden retriever emerged, looking bedraggled and wild-eyed with terror and howling for help.
Oh.
Horace, still unaware of the situation, had reached an impasse. The reel would not budge. The bag must have been caught on something and was going nowhere. The same, unfortunately, could not be said for Horace, who, having decided to try swinging the rod suddenly lost his grip with his feet and swung around.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I think that's just an... Okay. So Horace, who, having decided to try swinging the rod, suddenly lost his grip with his feet and swung around. He dropped the rod and tried in vain to grab for the oil drum, but it was too late. The river had him, and as he was dragged toward the lip of the fall, the last thing he saw before he went over was a dog's head sticking out of the bag, staring at him.
Oh, shit. So he's dead, because it said he would inevitably die if he went over that
It
waterfall.
did say he would inevitably die, yeah. So Horace fell. As the water moved up to meet him, he tried to shift himself into a diving position, and then he hit the water's surface and a rock, and then all was black. Jesus Christ. So yeah, I guess the end. He was a ghost.
Yeah.
He was a ghost taking a bag for a walk. Yeah. That's what was going on. The rest of his story, he learned himself from a boy. Okay, I don't think we need the word himself there, but sure, whatever. The rest of his story, he learned himself from a boy who had been playing truant and hanging down by the riverside. Hanging down sounds like he was in a tree. Who explained that what had seemed like a huge log, but had in fact been Horace, came crashing over the floor. I tell you what, he shouldn't have been wearing his log costume, should he? Or maybe he should. Maybe that's what saved him, because logs float and people famously don't.
Yeah.
But had in fact been Horace, came crashing over the fall and had sunk beneath the surface. The boy had thought little of this, other than it being ace. It says, wow, logs are ace, thought the boy. But then something even better had occurred. A dog suddenly leapt from the fall and into the water below, and likewise, seeming to vanish, had emerged from the depths shortly after, dragging the log with it. So the dog thought it was a stick as well, and then the dog went, oh, fucking man. Oh, I thought it was a stick. It was here the boy realised what was going on, and stopping only to watch with awe at the dog drag the man from... Okay.
Stopping
only to watch with awe at the dog drag the man from the river and to safety, ran to the nearby road to flag down help.
Okay.
So he stopping only to watch this long, complicated thing happen.
Yeah.
Then he went and got help.
Didn't want to miss it because it was ace.
Horace and Barnacle saved one another's lives that day, and just as Horace had kept pace along the riverbank, and just as 13 years later they kept the same pace on their daily walks, so it was that soon they would keep pace in the great hereafter, the end. What the fuck?
Yeah, I knew I'd have to kill them.
Little Howard dreamed of being a writer, and so he sat and wrote every night. But everything he wrote was fucking shite, yeah. Wubba-dubba-doo, wubba-dubba-doo. Worst writer in the world. Worst writer in the world. Worst writer in the world. Worst writer in the world.
Thanks for listening to this episode of The Worst Writer in the World. Don't forget there's free stuff available at patreon.com/manbycow/collections right now. Bye-bye milk.
Bye-bye.
He's a stupid, suck-ass, rubbish writer. Yeah.